Hey everybody, Michelle here. Um, elephant in the room. This is my February empties video. It's March 23rd. So I almost didn't do this because I was like, how can I do an empties video for February when it's almost the end of March? Um, we really can't seem to maintain any kind of normalcy over here. Kind of a somber moment. We did have a death in the family at the end of February. Um, my beloved mother-in-law passed away. It was very shocking, and I'd be remiss to not give a nod to her in this video. She, for better or for worse, I credit my mother-in-law for my love of candles. She was one of the first people to buy me candles. I would get them on occasion. I never I never didn't like candles, but it didn't become an obsession until kind of more recent years. And kind of home fragrance and that coziness. It was always something that she wanted to create in her own home. And I think that got passed down to me, both in terms of trying to create, a cozy, warm, welcoming, good smelling home, as well as the love of candles specifically. So, thank you for that. Um, my wallet might be a little sadder because of it, but my heart is definitely happier. And I hope that in heaven, God's got a really impressive candle closet because I know that she'll very much enjoy it. So all that to say, it's been a tough month. And obviously doing an empties video was not a big priority for me. Um, like I said, she passed at the very end of February, February 28th. Um, so of course we've been out of town, and all of that. So we've been back for a couple weeks. Um, and yeah, I mean, I've still been burning candles, but this video just wasn't a priority. But today I decided to sit down and videotape it. Um, you know, both to share my thoughts, but also kind of to journal, if you will. This is kind of a video journal for me. I like kind of going through all the candles that I've burned and remembering each one and what I liked or didn't like. So honestly, this is probably more for me than for anybody else. I just very much like to remember what it is I enjoy about each one. So, with that in mind, let's get into it. And unfortunately, the word enjoy does not apply to this first one. I'm going to kind of go in order of brands like I did the last time, just because in my brain, anyway, it makes the most sense. Um, so, I'm going to start with Homeworks. Um, yeah. So the first candle, and for starters, I did a lot of burning in February. I think I went through 27 or something candles. So I definitely went through a lot. So the first one that I burned through and finished was Homeworks Espresso Martini. The scent notes on this are freshly brewed Italian espresso, cafe au lait liqueur, rum, and whipped vanilla froth. Okay. How to describe? I'm not really sure what this is, but it is not espresso to me. The predominant note that I got out of this was like what I think was supposed to be the alcohol, but it came across like battery acid to my nose. It was very distasteful. Um, but it compensated, it had the horrible smell, but it compensated for that by also having terrible throw. So I guess that's good in a way. Um, I can't remember. It looks like I purchased this on the website because I don't see a TJ Maxx tag. Um, I would definitely not repurchase this. I'm pretty sure I've seen some good reviews on this, so I don't know whether I just got a weird one or what. But this one was not, it was not good. I did not get coffee. I did not get that delicious, because espresso martinis, you think of chocolate and espresso and yes, the alcohol, but I don't think of battery acid. And if I'm being honest, I love a good espresso martini. I love it. Um, I would not love it if it tasted the way this smells. I'll just put it like that. So yeah, that's gonna be a no-go. Let's see. Let's go into Kringle, I think. Let's do that. I do have several Kringles, but I think I have more Goose Creeks. So I'm gonna kind of work my way to the ones I have least of to the ones I have most of. So let's go into Kringle. Although I actually have fewer Bath and Body Works, I realize, but we're gonna still start with Kringle. Why not? Okay, so first I have Snowbird. Scent notes on this are snowfall, orange zest, balsam, peppermint, cassis, I don't know, iced cranberry, golden amber, cedar, and juniper berries. This was a smorgasbord fragrance. Very, very unique. It's very tart to my nose. A tart fruit. So the cranberry, my nose always itches during these videos. A very, very tart cranberry. So we actually had a pretty impressive snowfall for North Carolina at the end of January and beginning of February. We got over a foot, which hardly ever happens here. And this was the candle that I went to during that snowfall. I love this label. It is so cute. I believe they're discontinuing this fragrance, which really bums me out. I really liked it. Is it a huge passionate love for me? No, it's not. It's a little tart for me, and to be honest, it's not really reminiscent of what I would expect from a fragrance called Snowbird. To be honest, maybe it's the peppermint that's giving me a little. Is there peppermint? There's peppermint. Yeah, it's kind of menthol too. It's a little too menthol for me. And I think that's what I'm smelling that's kind of giving it a little bit more of that tartness. So that cranberry and menthol. I would have preferred a little bit more sweetness, I think, as well as a little bit more tree. There goes my nose again. The scent note of snowfall, I don't know what that's supposed to be. But it's a cool scent, so I guess that makes sense. But in terms of the total, like the whole scent profile, it is very unique. It is pleasant. I don't know that it's really targeted towards me specifically. I don't know if it's really something that that speaks to me the way it speaks to other people. So I'm not devastated that it's going away, but it is kind of a bummer. I know a lot of people did like this one. And again, I do like it. It's just maybe not a huge love for me. And that's actually a good segue into this next candle. Because it shares a scent note, and I actually burned them together, and that's cranberry. Scent notes on this are sparkling cranberry, juicy orange, bright raspberry, frosted juniper berry, sugared pine, and sweet vanilla bean. I liked this one a lot. And this one burned all the way to the bottom. This is a much sweeter cranberry. You do get a little bit of the citrus in there. It paired really, really well with Snowbird. Raspberry, absolutely. Definitely very fruity, but that raspberry and that orange lended a little bit more juiciness and sweetness to this than Snowbird had. So if I had to give my vote, it would be Team Cranberry. I would absolutely repurchase this. Absolutely, I would. And I got every last ounce of that candle, which I appreciate. All right, so the next one is actually one that I had in two different formats, the same candle, two different formats, and that was Cozy Cabin. So I had this that I actually found from years and years ago before I really got into candles. I had purchased this, I think at a farm, They had some country candles, not a huge selection, but some. And I went ahead and purchased this. So I had burned this. It was probably halfway through when I first started burning it in February. But again, I used this during the snowstorm and it was fantastic. The only downside, which is why I'm glad I had two, I had one in the Kringle format as well. The strength is not super strong. It could definitely use a little bit more oomph, but it is a fantastic fragrance. And let me go into the scent notes. I need the Kringle jar for that because I don't think it's on the country jar. Brown sugar, cedar wood, cinnamon bark, firewood, vanilla, and warm maple. And I'm not usually a maple fan at all. I find it cloying. I don't love it. The maple in this was not overly sweet. It was like a little dash of maple sugar. And I would burn these both together. I like this. I think it would actually go really well with Cozy Christmas as well. They're definitely reminiscent of one another, except where this one has a little bit more woodiness. Cozy Christmas has that citrus, as well as that hearth accord. This one's a little bit sweeter as well with the sugar, because the brown sugar and the warm maple go really well together. It's a beautiful blend. It's almost like hearth mixed with like a maple sugar glaze. Like it's really, really nice. I like this one a lot. I would absolutely repurchase it, but I would say probably go with the 4-wick or a couple of 2-wicks if you have, multiple places in your home you can put them, because the strength was not, I would probably give it about a 6. So if you have it in an open concept, which I did, for a lot of this burn, I was really grateful that I had 2. So I would suggest having 2 or a 4-wick and seeing if that gives you a little bit extra strength. But overall, great fragrance. I very, very much enjoyed it. I'm trying to find places to put them. All right, next one is crinkle cookies and the 3-wick. Scent notes on this are chocolate, espresso accord, steamed milk, cocoa, brown sugar, and cream. You can't get better than that burn. That was a great burn. So, about this candle, the negatives. It smells nothing like crinkle cookies to me. Crinkle cookies are a staple in our home. I make them every year. They're like my kid's favorite cookie around Christmas. These don't smell like that to me. There is not nearly enough cocoa in this to make it a crinkle cookie, in my opinion. The positives. This is a great scent. Even if it is not crinkle cookies, it's still a great scent. And so here's the surprising thing. So that's the bad, the good, and now for the surprise. It is a very milky candle, but I don't dislike that. I usually hate milky candles. I don't like them. They come across like sour and just blech. I really, really like this one. I would absolutely repurchase it. I can't really describe what it is about this milky quality that makes it better to me. Maybe it's the mixture with the espresso that makes it almost like a creamy coffee as opposed to straight up milk. But I very much like this. I've only ever had this in the 3-wick. This is the first time I've had it, first and only time. So I got it because it was on sale, and the milk cord kind of scared me. So I wanted to go with something that was cheaper before I committed to a larger jar. But now that I know, I will absolutely get a larger jar when I have the opportunity. This one was really great. And the strength is pretty good. Again, I didn't expect it to be super strong, but it actually performed quite well. It filled up my living room and kind of went into the kitchen. I paired this one with Dalgona, the Reserve Dalgona. It was a fantastic combination. Highly recommended. I do love Dalgona as well. I'm actually burning that this month. I'll probably have it empty in the end of March. So that was fantastic as well. Love that one. Okay. I've got a couple more 2-wicks, and then I have a few daylights that I tried of Christmas fragrances. Okay. So the next Kringle large jar I have is Christmas cookie dough. And this one is vanilla, butter, brown sugar, vanilla, and cream. So this one was a little sooty for me. I did not like this. I know a lot of people rave about it. And I'm sure, every note, of course every nose is different. This smelled like straight up Play-Doh to me. I could not get past that Play-Doh scent. I burned it with other things that kind of masked it because I didn't. Once I kind of committed to burning it, it's like reading a book for me. Once I start a book, I have to finish it, even if I don't like it. The same kind of goes with candles. Unless it's truly horrifying, I'm looking at you, Coven. Can't tolerate that candle. I will finish burning it. So this one I did finish burning, um, but it smells like Play-Doh. This will not be a repurchase to me at all. Like it, I don't know whether it was the mixture of the vanilla and the butter that gives it that. I don't know. But it just reminded me of salty Play-Doh, you try to eat in preschool. Mm-mm. Nope, nope, nope. All right. The last large tumbler I have is cashmere and cocoa. The scent notes on this are cocoa powder, marshmallow fluff, musk, woody, and patchouli. I liked this one. It's another take on the marshmallow fireside, the warm and toasties, the whole marshmallow hearth combo genre. This one is not hearthy in the same way that Marshmallow Fireside is. I think you get more of that, like that ember, that hearth, that burning wood in Marshmallow Fireside from Bath and Body Works. Warm and Toasty is a lot more pungent and perfumey to me than Cashmere and Cocoa. Um, which, by the way, I do not get a whole lot of cocoa in this. It is primarily marshmallow to me. The cashmere note, to me, it smells slightly like knit sweaters. What I'm smelling is that cashmere note reminds me of knit sweaters. But for me, it is primarily that sweet marshmallow. And I do very much like it. But again, for this one, the throw was not where I'd want it to be for an open concept space. So I did burn this primarily in my bedroom. After I tried it downstairs, it really didn't work. So I did bring it to my room and I very much enjoyed it there. So I would repurchase it as long as I know that I'm not going to be able to bring it downstairs. So I did very much enjoy it. I would repurchase it, probably only on sale, just because I like to save my full price items for the ones that pack a punch. So if it ever goes on sale, I could absolutely see myself picking up another one of these because it is a very, very pleasant scent. All right. Getting into the daylights. I have 3 little daylights. So the first one I have is Cinnamon Apple Wreath. I never got this in the full size. Very, very nice. Nothing like a wreath, and I know a lot of people have already said that. There's no wreath in here, no greenery, nothing. It is a baked cinnamon apple dessert without the apple. It's just a very, very light cinnamon bakery scent to me. I really don't get anything in the way. There's a slight sweetness from the apple, I guess, but it's a buttery cinnamon to me. And I like this one a lot. The second one, I would absolutely get a full size of that. It sold out before I could, so I had to be happy with the daylights, but hopefully it'll come back next year. The next one I had is Santa's Workshop, and I really liked this. I was able to get the full size of this. It's very unique, masculine, like walking into. It smells like what Richard Gilmore's study would smell like. This and Smoke and Oak. They don't smell anything alike, by the way, but they both, for whatever reason, remind me of Richard Gilmore from Gilmore Girls. What his study would have smelled like. Definitely very cherry wood forward. Unique. I don't know that I would burn it at Christmas. I actually thought it would make a really good Valentine's candle. I didn't get around to burning the larger size in February. I'll probably save it until I'm in the mood for it, but I feel like it's a really good February candle. I'm not sure why I feel that way. That's the way I feel. All right, the third little daylight I have is Vintage Christmas. I don't know how I feel about this. It's kind of it's mulling spices. It's a punch slash mulling spice candle. I don't dislike it, but to be honest, I didn't get a lot of throw out of this daylight, so I don't know that this was really a great foray into this scent. I might consider, if it comes back, I might consider getting it just to experience it because, like I said, I don't dislike it. I'm just not 100% sure. There's a lot going on in this scent, and I'm not really sure what it is I'm smelling most. It's a medley. It's a potpourri type of scent. You get a lot of different stuff in here. But overall, I'd say the vibe is a mulling spices and punch combo. It's quite sweet. I could see how some people might find it sickeningly sweet. Cloying. I could see how someone might find it too sweet. It's hard to say though with such a small one. I'm a little scared of getting the full size because I don't like overly sweet candles. Um, but there is something very like warm that reminds me of caroling. Like, carolers going door to door and then they get offered, like punch at a house or cider or whatever. Not mulled wine, obviously, but maybe for the parents who are staying behind the carolers, or if the carolers happen to be adults. In our neighborhood, carolers are always kids. So the kids all get out and, get out outside once a year and they go door to door and they usually have somebody will volunteer to drive the pickup truck that's pulling the cart full of carolers, and they'll go and everybody will jump out and run to the door and sing and then jump back in the trailer, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's what this reminds me of. It's like a cold night, there's carolers at your door, and this is what you would offer them to drink. It's nice. I'm not 100% sold on it, only because, again, that sweetness seems pretty intense, but I could be convinced to give it a try at the right price, I think. All right, so moving on to Bath and Body Works. I do have 3 Bath and Body Works candles, the first of which, I love this one, Happy Hanukkah. I am so mad at Bath and Body Works for not bringing back this candle. They brought back a Happy Hanukkah candle, I think, last year, but it was not this, and I'm sorry. This was amazing. It burned super weird. But oh, it's so good. It's so good. The notes on this are pillowy fried donut, sweet jelly filling sprinkled with powdered sugar. It's a jelly donut. It's not similar to Kringle's jelly donut, and I'll be honest, this is probably going to catch a lot of hate for this. I prefer this to Kringle's jelly donut. I don't love Kringle's. It's too sweet, not enough donut. Too much filling, not enough donut. This is the perfect combo to me. It smells like raspberry, like a raspberry filled donut, and it is amazing. The throw is great, the scent's great. Other than the weird burn, I think I have like 5 of these as backups. I got so many of them because I was obsessed a couple years ago when they came out. The next one is Iced Winter Balsam. Scent notes on this are frozen eucalyptus, sugared pine, fresh balsam. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Look at this train wreck. I forgot. Oh no. And the scent was not that great either. It was way too heavy on the eucalyptus. We're just gonna put this aside right now and just call this the train wreck of the group in terms of the burn. I remember this now. I could not get all the wicks to stay lit at the same time. I did get a candle lamp for Christmas, so I'll be honest, a lot of my Bath & Body Works candles are just going right underneath the lamp. I did get carrot cake because I love carrot cake from Bath & Body Works. It's my favorite carrot cake. It's probably just going to go underneath the lamp because this is ridiculous. But yeah, there is balsam in there, but it's a little too heavy on eucalyptus for me, and the balance of them was just a little too astringent. I didn't care for it. The last Bath & Body Works candle I have is Vanilla Cafe. The scent notes on this are smooth espresso, whipped vanilla, and toasted hazelnut. This was a fantastic scent. I did actually put this underneath the lamp, which is why you can still see all that wax. And I started burning it. I burned it a couple times, and then I put it under the lamp. There's still a tiny bit of scent left. This one lasted almost an entire month under the lamp, and I still get a faint whiff. Very, very faint. But this was a very sweet, creamy coffee. Really, really well done. My daughter actually has the body care of Vanilla Cafe. I personally don't want to smell like coffee. but she does, so more power to her. This was actually really, really good. The throw underneath the lamp was fantastic. The throw while burning was not as great. It wasn't bad. It did fill the room it was in. It didn't really carry out of that, but when I had it under the lamp, it carried through the whole upstairs. So really, really impressive performer, and again, a great scent. Very, very smooth, creamy coffee, but not lactonic. Not like it was very pleasant. I did not have any kind of negative reactions to the milk note in that. Sorry for that little blip. Um, I had a phone call coming through, so I had to hop to it. So yeah, apologies for that little blip. But yeah, so the next we have the Goose Creek candles, which I actually have quite a few of those um this month. A lot actually. I think I probably have about 10. So getting right into it, let's see. No particular order. So the first one is Sweet Cranberry Fizz. And this was a new one, I think, this year. The scent notes on this were sugared cranberries, muddled wild berries, and sparkling champagne. Now on cold, another train wreck. Burn, not quite as bad as the iced balsam, but still pretty bad. On cold, I really liked this one. While burning, though, I did not. It was really, really, really sweet. Um, it's not a tart cranberry at all. It's super, super sweet. I think the champagne really adds to that. This would not be a repurchase for me. It is not unpleasant, but personally, it was too sweet for me. I think if you like a really, really sweet cranberry cocktail, um, or mocktail, there's no alcohol note in here, but if you like a very, very sweet cranberry mocktail scent, you might like this. But for me personally, it just was not my vibe. It just wasn't for me. Um, but the strength and throw on this was actually quite good. So if that's what you're looking for and you're looking for a candle that has really strong performance and gives you a really, really sweet mocktail vibe, this one could be for you. Um, Speaking of cocktails, the next one I've got is Champagne Bubbles. And the scent notes on this one are grapefruit, sugar, and blood orange. And this one went all the way to the bottom. I did like this one. Again, it's sweet. But the combination of the kind of the sweetness of the champagne with the fruit, the grapefruit and the orange, which are, tartar. Um, I actually really liked this one. I do have a backup of it. I also have champagne toast, which I don't believe I have burned champagne toast from Bath and Body Works yet. I know I have it. I can't recall if I burned it or not. Um, but I took a chance on this. I wasn't sure if I'd like it, and I actually very much enjoyed it. So this would be a winner for me over Cranberry Fizz, personally. Let's see. Next one I have, which is another one I burned during the snowstorm, is Snowball Fight. I do not have the scent notes on this one, but I did enjoy it. Um, and I'm very curious what the scent notes are on this one. Um, I can't recall, and there's not a whole lot of smell left in it, but it reminds me of snow. It really does. Like there's that crispness to it. I don't. The throw was not significant with this one, but it was respectable. I was burning this one along with Snowbird and Cranberry. It definitely has a snowy outdoor vibe. So I do get a little bit of tree and a note, which a lot of companies would call, snow or snowfall. I actually very much like this one and would repurchase that. Next we have one that I know has been very popular with a lot of people, and that is Dazzling Popcorn. The scent notes on this are popcorn, berries, salt, and vanilla. It reminds me of buttered popcorn jelly beans, if I'm being honest. I don't get a whole lot of berries, which would be weird. It's not bad. Is it something that's really my cup of tea? Not really. I don't really need popcorn scented candles in my life. I guess I'm just not one of those people. I do, however, need butter popcorn jelly bellies in my life. It's one of my favorites. It really grosses my kids out because they think it's nasty. My favorites are butter popcorn and the cinnamon ones, which is a disgusting combination. Don't eat them together. But this, again, it's not going to be a repurchase for me. The strength was really good though. So if you want a popcorn scented candle that smells like how a buttered popcorn jelly belly tastes, with decent throw, this might be for you. It's just not something that I necessarily gravitate towards, but it's not bad. It really isn't. It's just not my particular cup of tea, and that's okay. I'm so glad I tried it. It's very rare for me to find a candle that I really, really wish I hadn't tried. It's happened. Again, Coven, I'm looking at you. Um, but I like the experience. I like the experience of trying candles, even if it's not a love. All right, let's see. I'm trying to get through my more wintry ones before going into my Valentine ones, because I do have some Goose Creek Valentine candles, but let's try to get through all the wintry ones first. All right, so the next one is Winter Morning. The scent notes on this were snow-capped pine, cinnamon bark, clove, eucalyptus, and chilled citrus. Mm-mm. Really cute label. I really liked this on cold, but then when it was burning, I got this, and I think it's the eucalyptus in this again, that for whatever reason, Goose Creek's eucalyptus I don't love. I've had it in Kringle candles a couple times where I really don't mind it, but it is very aggressive in a lot of Goose Creek candles. I do like all the other notes in it, and I think it's great. It's that eucalyptus note that just like kind of throws a monkey wrench in this whole thing. The throw on this was fantastic though. It was very, very strong. So if you don't mind eucalyptus, you might like this candle. For me personally, I don't like eucalyptus generally. It has to be blended really well and almost disguised by the other scent notes for me to get on board. Um, so while again, I'm glad I tried this, the eucalyptus note is just not, it's not for me in this candle. It's far too aggressive. But again, it was a great thrower. Can't complain on that note. Just get all these ones that I didn't like out of the way. This next one is White Christmas. You can't really see the label, it's translucent. The scent notes on this were snow-capped balsam, powdered snow, and white woods. Absolutely not. I don't even know, to be honest. A weird burn, right? I couldn't even tell you what I'm smelling. Some woodiness, a little bit of hearth. The powdered snow component, because I mean, I get the snow-capped balsam. Although, to be honest, I don't know if it's balsam that I'm smelling. It's definitely like a woodiness, but that whatever it is they're calling powdered snow is just, I don't like it. The woody component is not bad, but there is a very unpleasant to my nose note in this. It almost smells like it's eucalyptus again, if I'm being honest. Let me actually smell Winter Morning again and see if. I did burn these two together. I don't know what I was thinking. It definitely smells like it could be eucalyptus again in this one. But White Christmas, I love the movie. I don't like the candle. I really wanted to, because that concept is just, I mean, the concept of a white Christmas is just beautiful. But there was just something about it. And it's almost lemony. I really can't figure out what it is I'm smelling, but there's like a eucalyptus or lemon, like a lemony component to it. And I'm sure it's not actually lemon, but the way it's hitting my nose, it's very off. It's very off smelling. All right, my last non-Valentine's candle I loved, and I don't know that they brought it back this year, and that makes me sad, but it's pomelo and pine needle tea. The notes on this are pink pomelo, grapefruit, brewed tea, and pine needles. I really liked this one. I really, really did. It's not heavy on the pine needle. It's definitely forward with the pomelo. The pomelo, the fruitiness, and the tea. Um, it's really, really nice. The throw on this was quite good, as was the strength. And I love pomelo scents and grapefruit scents, as long as they're not too bitter and astringent. Um, but tempered with the tea, this was really, really nice. Um, and it's not tea like Kringle's Tea Time. It's not like, it could probably be more punchy than tea like. It's more just a, like if you have a simmer pot on the stove and you put the grapefruit and the pomelo in it. I don't know if it's like necessarily tea that you're smelling. More of just like brewed fruit. But it is really, really nice. I like this one. And again, pretty light on the pine needle. So if that scares you, don't let it. It's not weird. Promise. All right. Moving. Oh, no. I have one. One more. Um, Coffee House. The notes on this are fresh coffee, chocolate, and caramel, and I like this one. This is a repeat purchase. This is great. I like the chocolate component. It's not overly chocolatey. It is primarily coffee, kind of a mocha latte note tone to it. Great throw, great strength. It was a relatively clean burn. It did get a little sooty. Actually, it got more than a little sooty. But it did burn evenly all the way down, which I appreciated. So yeah, this is a repeat purchase. I'll probably get it again. I think I might actually have a backup already. All right, so moving on to the Valentine's candles. The first one I have is Under a Spell. I do not have the scent notes on this one, but it reminds me of Victoria's Secret Love Spell. Very perfumey. I dumped the wax out into a warmer, which is why there's no wax in this particular one, and it's missing a wick. Victoria's Secret Love Spell. That's what you get in this. That's the best explanation. It was really, really nice. I probably, this is going to be a one and done for me. I very much enjoyed it, but I don't see it as being something that I really need to get more of. Although it was nice. No complaints. My Wish was my other Valentine's one. This one had a weird scent to it, and it had a weird like burnt quality when I was burning it that I think superseded any. It is very perfumey. That's what it smelled like on cold. Very perfumey, very feminine, light. Whereas Under a Spell is more sensual. Sorry if somebody hates that word, but it's more sensual. This is more light and feminine. Like this is the day perfume to that being the night perfume, if that makes sense. This one feels more like youthful and vibrant, and that one's more sultry. But when it was burning, it didn't smell like it did on cold. And personally, I did not care for this one. It kind of had a burnt quality to it when it was burning that kind of overpowered the perfuminess of it. So for this one, this would definitely not be a repeat purchase for me. But again, I'm glad I tried it. It was a fruity floral perfume. Um, Not something I would wear, and not something I really need to burn, if I'm being honest. All right, so let's get to my favorites. Not because the scents were my favorite, but because I love Scooby-Doo, and that is the Scooby-Doo Valentine's collection. These are so cute. I'm going to save a couple of these jars. But anyway, so this one is Rove Bubbles, and this one is candied grapes, confectioner sugar, and vanilla cream. I did not like this at all. I know. Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo. I kind of was misleading. I was like, yeah, I love Scooby-Doo. This candle stunk. It smelled like bathroom cleaner to me. It smelled like a cheap, like not fabuloso necessarily, but it smelled to me like a cheap bathroom cleaner, and I could not get past it. And that could be unique to me. It might be that in my youth I used a bathroom cleaner that smelled like candied grapes, and so it ruined this for me for life. But that was all I could think of. I could not shake it. It's very artificial grape, very very artificial, very candied, very artificial. There is not a real grape in this candle. It is very, very much a sugary, artificially flavored candy. Adorable jar. Absolutely would not repurchase this fragrance. Next one I have is Rubs a Mystery. Again, so cute. Scent notes on this are lavender latte, creamy vanilla froth, and caramel drizzle. This one was weird. I don't like lavender in my coffee. There, I said it. Lavender has no business in my coffee. I am not a huge lavender fan to begin with. The coffee was stronger in this than the lavender, which I appreciated, but the combination was weird. I think some people loved it. I am mid on it, to quote my children. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really see the need for it. There's about a million things I'd rather have paired with my coffee than lavender. Again, cute label. I'll probably save it for the label, but if this comes back, this is not one that I'm going to repurchase. Because it's a weird combo to me. It's a weird combo. All right, the last Scooby-Doo candle I have is On the Road to Romance Mystery Machine. Scent notes on this were spun blackberry sugar, sparkling tangerine, and vanilla sandalwood. And we have a winner. I liked this one a lot. I think out of all the Scooby-Doo ones, there were other ones in the collection that I burned last year. I was finishing off my collection this year of the Scooby-Doo ones. Of all of them, I'd say this one was my favorite. I very much like blackberry scents. They can get a little sweet, but the addition of the tangerine in this one was very, very nice. It is primarily blackberry, but the tangerine adds a little bit of brightness to it. So it's not a monotone fragrance. Sandalwood, not really. Not really. Vanilla, yes. But I don't really, I do like sandalwood, so it's not that I'm looking to avoid that scent, but I really don't smell it. Sandalwood can make things more like perfumey. This and body care-esque. This to me was not body care. It was kind of jammy. And I very much liked it. So if this comes back and you're looking for my recommendation for what to get out of the Scooby-Doo collection, On the Road to Romance is my favorite, hands down. I thought it was really, really well done. The performance was great. It burned pretty clean. There's a little bit of soot around the edges, but it burned pretty cleanly for me. And the scent was fantastic. So all in all, so I think I got through 27 candles in February, which is not too shabby. I got through, I think, all of my Valentine candles. I don't think I have any Valentine candles left. I think I actually burned through all of them. All the Goose Creek ones, anyway. I did have a couple of Kringle ones that I have yet to burn. Love Letters and Raspberry Rose Ganache. Those I might save them until next year. But they both caught my eye, and I was able to get them before they went out of stock, for which I am very, very grateful. But yeah, all that to say, it's 7 days until the end of the month, so with any luck, you'll see me sooner than later. Hopefully I'll film again in April, towards the beginning of April for March Empties as opposed to towards the end. But yeah, it's been a difficult month. But candles are a bright spot for sure. I know they are for me. I know they were for my mother-in-law. And like I said, I hope right now she's getting to enjoy that big, beautiful candle closet that I know God has to have, because there's way too many good people on earth who are going to want some candles. Once their time comes to enter those pearly gates, they're going to go looking for the candles. And I am one of them. So Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching. I know this was lengthy. The empty videos can be, especially with the number of candles that I typically burn in a given month. But thanks so much for sticking around and have a wonderful day. Bye.